Hey, howdy. So you might wonder why I'm on top of this tall structure right now, and that's because of this. So recently, I was playing some Pilot, and I discovered another movement tech that was linked to that Wavedash mechanic that I found through YouTube videos or otherwise. Like, there is some genuine tech here. But I can also use this as a moment to break down both of the techs, how they sort of relate to each other, how one sort of leads into the other, and how to perform both of them. So starting with the first one, the first tech is, in all but name, it's a Wavedash. So the way that it works is that Pilot's move, Aerobatics, has two general modes. If you're holding up when you use it, it moves at an upwards angle. Otherwise, it just moves straight out. But there's actually a third way that you can execute it. If you hold down, and only down, press C and then press space, that happens. So what's going on is that when you hold down and press C, and press the button to do aerobatics, I don't know what it is on controllers, you do this big slide. And it peters out pretty quickly because of friction. But if you're jumping, the friction isn't applied as aggressively, and you keep your speed for a lot longer. Like a lot longer. In fact, I think if you time it perfectly, you might be able to carry it a pretty long ways. And you can also combo it with his V and go even further. That being said, this is basically on a 25-second cooldown, so don't use it too much. Like, already, that's pretty cool, though it does come with one caveat. If you've ever played Quake or TF2, or there's a lot of arena shooters that have this sort of mechanic. If you're holding forward, that's generally a really bad thing because it caps your movement speed. Same thing applies here. If you're holding left or right at all during this, you stop cold. And sometimes you want that, but it's sort of... There's a similar tech to this in Spyro the Dragon, where you press a button and you just stop. And sometimes you want that, other times you press it when you don't mean to, and you just go flying straight to the ground. So be careful with it. And like I was saying before, the V works. The X, unfortunately, doesn't really work. Because, like, I'll show it off for the sake of it, but it's not going to do very much. Yeah. If there were an enemy, it actually does extend your glide slash dash slash whatever the hell this is called. Like, suppose I spawn some imps. There we go. That extends it. You think you can get away? I'm playing the most mobile character in the game. There's no escape from me. So now we move on to the second thing, and I'm gonna head back to the left edge of the map and climb up the wall. Because this is best shown off from a tall height. So when you're standing on a ledge and you do this, the game has some very strange behavior. Let me just show it. Weird, right? So what's going on is that when you do this off of a ledge, the game doesn't have time to tell that you're no longer grounded. Because you just slid straight off without jumping. So the game kind of just assumes that you're still grounded. And when you combo that into your V, which sets your vertical velocity to be a lot lower than usual, you get this really strange, it really is a glide. And it leads to some really weird interactions. Like, for instance, your V and your X now act as if you're still standing on the ground. Meaning your X is actually pretty useless unless there's enemies above you. And your V lets you do this really weird backwards dash while in midair, which you're normally not able to do. The other thing to consider is that because the game still assumes that you never left the ground, you still get a jump. So, I forgot to show this these last few times, but if you jump at all, it completely cancels it. The game realizes, oh, you're in the air. You should have actual gravity applied to you. But that also means that you can jump out of that weird ledge glide and go flying. Oftentimes you end up going even further than you normally would with a regular old Wavedash. I'll delay it a little bit more so that it's easier to see. But I don't have Hopu Feather or anything. I just jumped in mid-air. And I mean, it even works with Hopu Feather, it works with Proton Jetpack. Anything that alters your movement speed is going to make this even better than it already is. And when you combine it with the mines, man, you go flying. Okay, maybe it wasn't that good, but I gotta do the mines earlier. Oh, come on. I'm waiting on the mines to recharge anyway, so it's not that big of a deal. Let's see if this works. There's a lot of buttons I need to remember here. Oh, that's much better. That was it. That was sick as hell. But yeah, Pilot's already a mobile character with their base kit, and these tools make Pilot even more agile. And I'm gonna be completely honest, I have no idea if this stuff is going to get patched or not, because we still have not gotten the patch that addresses stuff like mouse control. So maybe they sneak it in. I'm thinking they might not, but maybe I'm just being optimistic. But yeah, that's all I got for now, I think. Thanks so much for watching.
Bonus.